Stalemate. I titled it Stalemate. Genius, huh? Because that was pretty stale. From a Liverpool point of view, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for another post-match reaction to Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1. Yeah, I was going to say one step forward, two steps back, but we didn't lose. So I guess it's one step forward, one step back, I guess, or one step sideways. You do the maths and you do the angles. I'm here to discuss what was a stalemate of a game, of a draw. First and foremost, fair play to Sunderland. Yeah, very, very well coached team. My God, they've got some good players that a lot of big clubs like ourselves should be keeping an eye on. Their left back. And you know what? I didn't even know. I forgot Reynaldo was their left wing back because he's the fella that played under Diego Simeone and he's played against Liverpool before as well. He played at Atletico Madrid. Fantastic little player. And same on the other side. Wow, the energy in this Sunderland team was a joy to watch, to be honest with you. But from our point of view, yes, he went with the same lineup. I beg your pardon. He went with Robertson for Kirkes as the only change. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that first half. They bossed us. I was in a few WhatsApp groups with the lads, and a couple of them were not recognizing the level of two teams and the status of two teams and the price tags, I guess, of the two sets of players involved. Because they were like, oh, Sunderland haven't been all that. I think Sunderland were all that. And of course, we were off par. The drive and the energy levels seemed down again after West Ham. I guess that's a lot to do with how rubbish West Ham were and how poorly set up West Ham were. But Sunderland were the opposite. I always knew out of the three games this week, Leeds, Sunderland, West Ham, I knew this would be the hardest game. Now, I don't know what Leeds away is going to be like, but hopefully it won't be as hard as this, I think. I know they just smashed Chelsea to bits, which, hey, is a bit of a consolation. Our top four rivals, or top five as the case may be, we actually gained a point on them. Hip hip hooray. Small wins and that. But yeah, overall, it's not clicking at the moment. And I personally have accepted that it won't click. Like clickety click this season. This season, unfortunately, we all had high hopes for, but unfortunately, it's very clear to see to anyone who wants to have a dose of reality about it, or it's going to be a transition season. Yep, that word. We're going to have to transition, and people obviously, the next question is what we're transitioning from and into. And I tell you what, my opinion is we're transitioning into a team that not relied, but our focal point of attack and goals was Mohamed Salah. We're transitioning into a team that no longer has Mohamed Salah as the focal point or the end goal as Mohamed Salah, if you know what I mean by the end goal, you know. And that's what we're transitioning into. And that involves Florian Wirtz, Isak, and Ekitike being the attack that we're eventually going to build around. I don't even want to put Gakpo in that list, notice, because I think we will buy another more dynamic, powerful, pacey winger. And then also use Frimpong and Kirkes as our wing backs. But that's a different discussion for a different show. Mohamed Salah was rested or dropped or not selected. Whatever way you want to dress it up, that's the way it was. Gakpo kept his place in the team because of a goal and an assist, but he stank out that gaff in the first 45 minutes. He was atrocious. And everyone else was below par. McAllister again. Isak, I don't think touched the ball in their area, maybe once or twice. Just wasn't getting the service. Even Sabozalai looked off the pace, but hey, if anyone's allowed a off the pace night, it's Dominic Sabozalai. He's done the running for majority of the players on that pitch. Ibu and Virgil look nervous. That Brobby fella from Ajax, I know he was at Ajax. I don't know if he came directly from Ajax, but my God, he gave Ibu Kanate a terrible, terrible time. He did. I thought Joe Gomez, after all the plaudits and all the adulation of the game against West Ham, I don't think he looked great, and Robertson didn't look great either. We just looked back to our nervous, slow, lethargic Liverpool that we've seen for the last month or so. There was no zip in our passing. There was no pace. They were the tenacious ones. They actually could have scored if they were a bit more braver. But they were happy and they were in absolute total control. A couple of shots from Sabozalai, McAllister with a header, but nothing that we can say that was momentum building. Just sporadic attacks here and there. Second half starts off much better. Mohamed Salah comes on at halftime for the ineffective, the dull, the boring now Gakpo, who's doing the same shit. There's three Gakpo signature moves. The cut inside, take a shot. The cut inside, drift it to the far post, and the cut inside, and then try to play reverse ball for the runner. None of those worked today. None of those. He didn't get a shot off. He didn't get a layoff right, and he didn't get a chip to the far post right. That was Gakpo's contribution today. Mohamed Salah came on, looked brilliantly with a thing to prove, almost. He doesn't have to prove nothing to us. He's the king. But nothing came off for him. I thought that Ronaldo played him really well. But Mohamed Salah looked to link up with to Dominic Szoboszlai. Curtis Jones came on for Joe Gomez, who could have got a red card if he made another tackle, so it was wise. And just when we were building up a bit of momentum, a bit of pace in our play and passing, story of our season, damn it, they got up the other end and get a shot off, and it deflects off the hapless Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, that passage of play from Virgil van Dijk was embarrassing. Yeah, it's not befitting of a Liverpool captain. It's not befitting of a generational defender, which he actually is, a generational centre back. It's not befitting of any of that. It's befitting of an amateur, cowardly, lack of concentration, everything. Yeah, that was disgustingly embarrassing from Virgil van Dijk. And then you think to yourself, that's when I thought one step forward, two steps back, because losing at home again to Sunderland, promoted team, regardless of how good they've been, in the current predicament would have been a disaster. But we managed to get it back, and we managed to get it back through the wonderful, tricky feat of Florian Wirtz. Couldn't be more happy for the kid. Ultimately, it was given as an own goal because he was going wide. But we saw the move, we saw the quickness of feet, we saw the intention, we saw the directness, and that will come. I'm not worried about goals and assists. I'm just worried about his performance. He played the full 96-7 minutes. Isak came off. Isak came off for Chiesa at the end, and Kez for Robbo. Ekitike came on for McAllister, who I thought was poor again. And Ekitike looked brightly. But yeah, we got a draw. I don't think we ever look like winning. In fact, they should have won at the end. A magnificent goal kick, stroke through ball, stroke volley that Zidane would have been proud of from their goalkeeper. Straight through to the substitute Isidore, who's clean through, outpaces Chiesa, goes round Allison, and thinks he's tapping it into the empty net. But there is Fede Chiesa, the Italian in him. You know, centre backs from Italy have a reputation. Well, he gathered that inner spirit of the old Catenacci. Catenacci? How do they pronounce it? And made an amazing 2 point saving clearance off the line in the 96th minute. As good as a goal, to be honest with you. That contribution added to the goal that he scored against, you know, the one, the last second winner. Bournemouth, was it? Bournemouth, probably. That's 4 points. Just Chiesa in 2 pieces of action. So hats off to him. The crowd sang his song. The crowd was a bit deflated. Normally, when we get an equalizer like that, we're kicking towards the confidence, the chances come. They didn't come. There was no chances to talk of. There was no real moves to talk of. Just long balls, and I thought Sunderland handled it impeccably. I haven't done enough homework and research to name all of their centre backs, but we know Ballard because he scored against Arsenal, and the other fellas were magnificent as well. Fair play to them. Xhaka was one of the coolest men on the pitch. What a signing! What a signing! But overall, yeah, it's a difficult watch at the moment, Liverpool Football Club. As I said, we're going to get these inconsistent performances and results for the rest of the season. Let's hope we can secure a Champions League spot. Let's hope we can go far in the Champions League and maybe win the FA Cup. And still salvage this season overall, but the league title, of course, is totally out of the picture. But the Champions League spots are absolutely there for us, and we should be encouraged by the surrounding shitness, basically. Chelsea, Man City, United, no one's really getting away from us. So we will be there. We will be there. And let's hope we see a bit more fluidity and understanding and be ready for the second part of the season and next season, because we will be very good very soon. We will be very good very soon. But for now, we must endure and speak soon. Peace, love, and tranquility to you. Take care. Bye bye.